Hey, thank you, Regine. It seemed like there's a lot going on within the industry, from Akasa having franchise opportunities, from the consolidation of these medical insurance companies, and now the DOJ crackdown, on fraud. Wow, that's a lot going on. So, what we're going to do at this time, we're going to be bringing in Kwan Anarchy. Let you know that I've worked with Kwan for many years. He's very valuable, with this knowledge and experience. So Kwan right now have a section called H.F.A, which is Health, Finance, and Advice. And we're going to bring him in to just speak to us a little bit more about other things that's going on within the healthcare industry.
Perfect. So I'll drop out, and
Okay.
just like with Regine, I'll come back in when Kwan is done, and we'll talk a little bit more about the advice
Mhm.
and financial industry and health industry news.
Gotcha. Hello, Kwan. How you doing
Hey,
today?
I'm doing good, Courtney. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm pretty good. Just trying to stay ahead of all these changes and everything that's going on within our space.
Yeah, man. It's a continuous change that's going on in this healthcare space, and I'm glad that we're a part of these changes, and what we have to bring to the table will be monumentous to say the least.
That's good. I was telling the audience that you and I worked for many years together, and we've had some interesting conversation just on our experience. And so, just tell us a little bit more about yourself and the HFA section of what you're going to be doing on DME TV.
Absolutely, absolutely, and thank you again for having me, and also having me be a part of your team as well.
Yes.
Like Courtney says, we've been in the industry for I've probably had about 15 years myself in the industry or more,
Mhm.
and to be a part of DME Connected now, as the vice president, to help usher in a new sense of urgency as far as changing how things are done in the healthcare field is something that I welcome wholeheartedly. So thank you for that. Um, like you said, with the many years of experience, I realized that there's things that need to be changed in the field. And so with DME Connected, we are now working on that on the digital side to fix those things,
Mhm.
right? My portion, or what I have to bring to the table now, is more of advice, um, healthcare advice, so to speak, some financial advice. I don't want to make it just about
Mhm.
um, DME, so to speak. I want to make it somewhat entertaining as well and knowledgeable, right? For the people who consume our content.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So that's pretty good. So now with health, finance, and advice, is there any disclaimers that you need to give us up
Yeah.
front?
So of course with with any of this content, whether it be podcasts or whatever it might be, as you know, this is just
Mhm.
entertainment purposes. Okay,
Yes.
this is not financial news. This is not healthcare news. Neither myself or Courtney, or our team, we're doctors or MDs. We know enough to be dangerous, but
Mhm.
but obviously we are
Yeah.
not licensed
Mhm.
practice individuals, right?
Gotcha.
So yeah, so please take this with just a knowledge base,
Mhm.
just from understanding some things that's going on, things that you might implement into your own life that you might
Mhm.
feel is just good,
Yes.
but don't take it as
Mhm.
church as the gospel, so to
Gotcha.
speak.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
And, and I know you and I have spoken a lot about this mental health industry and how certain solutions are popping up more because it seems like more and more we're paying attention more about that part of the industry, whether it's from the workplace, whether it's at being at home, within the school. Mental health has been a very hot topic, and I know you have some experience with that. Can you tell us a
Yeah,
little bit more
so
about
so that's part of this week conversation I wanted to have with you guys about mental health. Mental health it's especially now when you with the advance of technology, right? It has now increased the way in which the consumption of the everyday whether it be from the adults to the children, that
Mhm.
they're continuously being bombarded with so much information that it actually messes up their mental capacity to be able to cope, right? So a lot of what's going on now in the mental health space is a coping mechanism that's missing, right?
Okay.
There's a lot of trauma that comes behind mental health. Okay.
Mhm.
And now with the advance of technology, that trauma is being, I mean, you could think of it being sped up so much more faster than it was previously before having all this access, right?
Okay.
So with people who are struggling with mental health, individuals who don't understand it will automatically write them off, right?
Okay.
Man, that person is just,
Mhm.
I don't want to like use that word, but you know the
Yes.
word I'm thinking about,
Mhm.
and they want to think they want to use that word, and that's not the case. A lot of times these people just need to sit down and talk to somebody, right? There's some traumatic event that happened in their lives that caused them
Mhm.
to either be an introvert, right?
Yeah.
Or they have thoughts of, I mean, they have some thoughts of suicide sometimes, right?
Okay.
If you know, recently Instagram was about to launch a Instagram for children.
Okay. I
Okay,
wasn't aware of that. Okay.
yes, they was about to launch, maybe about a week ago, and
Mhm.
the CEO ended up
Mhm.
pulling that because they had to go back and look at the mental health damage that it's causing for the
Okay.
adults.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that alone has to tell you something, right?
Mhm.
They decide they can't give this Instagram to maybe a 12-year-old. That would be
Mhm.
destructive, right?
Yes.
So we to really have good health, you have to have mental health. Mental health is where everything starts from, right? If your
Mhm.
mind is right, then you can make your body right. Okay,
Mhm.
you change the way you eat, you change the way you think.
Mhm.
You are more prone to better success just from having a better mental health attitude.
Okay.
And you know how that is. I
Yeah.
mean, I think that's one of the things that has brought you this far is a strong mental health.
And it's so funny you mentioned that about the kids because I am guilty of it. About when my daughter was young, I think we got her the cell phone a little bit too early. And that's one of the things. I don't like to regret anything, but if I had to do it again, I'll wait until she was a little bit older, right? Because
Yes,
like what you said, the constant imagery of so many things, where some people may feel like they have to keep up with the Joneses, or
yes,
some people may feel like they're missing something from their life. What is it? FOMO, fear of
yeah,
missing
fear of
out.
missing out.
Right?
Correct.
But that's a
Right.
real thing.
It's a
You
real
know.
thing.
But I'd like to ask you now, what can we do in our personal lives to help address some of these situations? Because I think everyone, whether it's a friend or family, knows someone that experienced this type of difficulty. On a personal level, I have a brother that I feel may need more help.
Mhm.
And not financially more, but just always being there to speak to him on a regular, everyday basis. But then your life is so busy. You're
Right.
trying to tackle so many different things. What can we do individually to try and address some of these
So
situations?
on a very small scale, I believe you have to be intentional, right? You have to be intentional with some of the things, the action that you take when it comes to your mental health. Meaning sometimes you have to put away the phone. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to take a break away from it, right? From no kind of
Mhm.
glass, okay, whether it be your phone, whether it be a tablet, your laptop, whatever it is, right?
Okay.
Detach for a little bit, okay. Now another thing is to surround yourself with people around you that love you, okay,
Mhm.
and the people that you can talk to, you can have genuine conversations with, and talk about life, just talk, and so to speak, shoot the breeze, right?
Yes. Yes.
Though these are small steps that you can take. Another thing is stop being so hard on yourself. Okay.
Mhm.
Don't try to compete because we're not in the race. Okay. And I think going back to what you just said, it's keeping up with the Joneses, is trying to compete, right?
Mhm.
Stay in your position and be the best you that you can be. Now, if all else fails now and you really need help, then you go seek a LPC. Okay.
Mhm.
That's a licensed professional counselor, right?
Okay.
You could find that online. Okay. As a matter of fact, I have a few resources for you. No affiliates to
Mhm.
DME Connected, but at some point we'll probably be a part of our platform, right?
Yes.
Courtney up there, and we'll reach out to them and get them on this
Yeah.
platform because we are
Yeah.
also promoting
Mhm.
behavioral health and behavioral health spaces, right?
Okay.
So if you're looking for somebody who needs a solution for behavioral health, we'll also have them on our platform.
Okay.
Okay. So there's one that's called Cerebral, right?
Okay.
It's an online digital platform that allows you to, for $85 a month,
Hmm.
okay, you can be in touch with a licensed professional counselor
Hmm.
for however whatever the time frame might be. Okay.
Okay.
Um, and of course it would be all virtual. So that's
Okay.
also a good thing. I mean, if you had to go see somebody one-on-one, that's something you can
Mhm.
probably put up schedule at some point, but in the interim, with the things being
Okay.
as they are right now,
Yeah.
it's virtual, but it's a good start. This is
Okay.
somebody that you can just sit down and speak to whatever is going on with you in your life.
Mhm.
Sometimes just getting it out your system actually helps you feel better.
Mhm.
Sometimes we won't talk to our own family members because we fear of being judged, okay,
Mhm.
or misunderstood. So
Mhm.
sometimes we have to talk to somebody outside um, of our realm. And even though in our community, I know
Mhm.
that's a taboo kind of subject,
Yeah.
but
So, so what about, sorry to cut you off now, you said speak to someone outside of your immediate circle, right? My wife don't like me speaking to anybody, right?
so do my wife as well. Correct. Right.
So just to let you know, I thank you for that definite information, because we have to share that at the end of the show, so
Hmm.
where people can use this information and pass it along to other
Right.
ones, right? Because I think sometimes we're fear of being judged by
Right.
our loved ones about the
Right.
stress points that we may be feeling. So that's why I just wanted to jump in and let the audience know that we're going to be sharing that at the end of the show as well.
Yes, absolutely. And I have one, that one, and probably maybe two more I can share along if that does
Okay.
not work for you. Because sometimes when you meet with a counselor, that counselor may not be the right one, right?
Hmm.
So you may have to go through maybe two or three to say, okay, well, this one is actually a fit for me. I feel comfortable with this person. My wife will allow me to talk to this person, right? Because assuming that your wife knows some of the things that you're going through,
Yeah.
sometimes she's not the person for you to talk to as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do believe that your wife should also be your best friend. Just me throwing that out.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So yeah, so behavioral health is very, very, very important. And like you said, we'll tackle some more information at the end of
Okay.
this segment.
Got,
I'll go right into my financial part. Okay.
gotcha. Hmm.
Um, so on the finance side, because as you know, I'm a big finance guy, right? I'm not a fiduciary or anything of that sort, but
Hmm.
I'm involved in the market. I like the way the market works, and I also believe that being able to share this information would help somebody else who's trying to get their financial house in order, right? Um, and I wanted to talk about investing, and I believe that investing is something that we all should be involved in. Okay, we all should start investing at an early age. Half of what, even with the mental health situation, if we got our kids involved in investing and understanding money at an early age, right? So it's keeping their mind occupied. Okay, it would be something that they can actually see as tangible, right?
Okay.
And they can capitalize on that. Okay, investing means opening up a brokerage account. Okay, with any of these brokerage accounts, whether it be the Robinhood that's sold right now. Okay, there's Webull, and these are all things we could have links to some of these places where you can actually open up a brokerage account for as little as $1 if you wanted to. Okay,
Okay.
I hope you put a little bit more than that in,
Yeah.
but you can open it up with a very minimum capital to start. Okay, it's important to start planning that at a very, very early age, because compounding is where you want your money to grow, right? So over the years, you're not just gambling, right? You are actually investing. So there's a difference between gambling and investing. Okay,
Gotcha.
gambling, you watching the stock, and the fear of missing out. You might buy the stock hoping that it goes up. It may not go up. You might lose all your money. That's gambling. Okay,
Hmm.
investing is looking at a company like an Apple or
Hmm.
Microsoft, and you're
Hmm.
putting your money in these companies each week, or however you want to divide
Okay.
your costs. And over the years,
Hmm.
you will have a percentage of growth, way better than the bank will give you. Okay, a
Yes.
bank is giving you maybe a percent on your money, if that, right?
Hmm.
The S&P 500 has been shown to give you at least 35% or more on your
Hmm.
money each year. Okay,
Okay.
so
Hmm.
you have a better chance of recouping your funds. So
Hmm.
I believe that just being able to start early, investing wisely, and understand that you can't time the market. Okay,
Yes.
it's not time in the market, it's time
Mhm.
in the market. Okay,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
so if you keep that concept in mind and you understand that where I'm going to be 10 years from now will be a lot more lucrative than where I am now if I just put time in the market.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha. So that definitely that's a jewel that we like to say ding ding ding. Compounding is the word, right? That we need to do. I know right now, even myself, crypto, right? That's the hot
Mhm.
topic today, right?
Right.
So if I had, let's say if I had $5,000 and I was like, okay, I want to diversify. I have to go through crypto, or would you say the traditional route, of mutual funds, stocks? What would you do?
So what I would do in that case is diversification is the word that you're going to always hear, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So you want to have percentage, right? So you want to have a percent in crypto, a percent in the indices like your stock markets, okay? Then you could also do your ETFs, you could do your index funds, right? But right now, crypto is where everything is kind of moving, right? With NFTs, the blockchain, all that is really taking off, right? The dollar at some point will have a different
Mhm.
feel and a different look in the next coming years. Okay,
Oh,
so we're looking. So I think right now the market is pivoting. Okay,
mhm.
not to say that the dollar is going to completely crash, not to say that you won't have use for the dollar. You still have use for the dollar at some point, but eventually it will change. The transactions will change, right?
Okay.
I would do crypto definitely. We can also, and what we'll do, and we'll have some link in the description here as far as some of the cryptos and some of the altcoins that I think are the better ones to invest in right now. Like I said, this is just informational.
Yes.
Um, so do your own homework, do your own research, and see what works for you. We can't tell you where to put your money. This is just where I'm putting some of my money and
Mhm.
understanding that, like I said, this is a long-term goal. Okay.
Okay.
So you can look at your Bitcoins. Bitcoin is definitely the top of the heap, right? You have Bitcoin, you have Ethereum,
Mhm.
okay. You have ADA, which is Cardano. You have Cody. You have
Mhm.
Algorand. There's a lot of altcoins right now. It's too much to even go into.
Okay.
The two top dogs,
Mhm.
Bitcoins and Ethereum. All right.
Yes.
If you have a stake in those asset classes, then you still will reap some money. I mean, and you could dollar cost average in. So even though Bitcoin is 43,000 a share,
Mhm.
you may
Mhm.
not be able to buy a whole share. Put
Mhm.
$100 in.
Mhm.
Put $100 in. If Bitcoins keep moving up, that $100 could be $200.
Yes.
Keep going up to $100,000, then you're looking at $300-400,
Mhm.
and just keep dollar cost averaging until I mean whatever you can afford. All I'm saying is get
Mhm.
in the game. Okay,
Gotcha.
get
Mhm.
into the investment game because true wealth is really is built around investing.
Gotcha.
And a lot of times there are communities that's left behind because we
Mhm.
don't understand, we haven't learned, we were shut out. Now that you can actually get into a crypto without
Mhm.
um, extra expense, except what it costs you just to buy in.
Yes.
Okay, so there's no mission fees,
Yeah.
so things like that structurally has helped us to get in and not having excuses to say, well, it costs too much for the
Yes.
barrier of entry.
Mhm.
That barrier has somewhat been displaced. So we should definitely take advantage of that.
All right. Well, thank you once again. Thank you, Kwan, for your healthcare, finance, and advice. Right. So
Absolutely.
we're going to be speaking to you from time and time again. Right. Is there anything else that you have, Alex?
No, that was great information. I was listening in the background. One
Okay.
thing that stuck out was talking about those devices. So I dedicate my Saturdays to going completely device free, where I leave my phone at home and hit
Mm.
the streets without any devices in my pocket. No
Absolutely.
screen.
And
So I
how does that
definitely
make you feel? How does
it
that make
feels
you
great.
feel?
It
Yeah.
feels great. It helps clear space. You realize how much noise you let in and how much distraction you let in when you're on your phone and just surfing the web, going through different apps. You're just naturally on your phone actively
Right.
throughout the day. So if you eliminate that, you've just freed up your day. You've just freed up brain space. So now your natural creativity can kick in.
And
So
try it, because what happened is when you're out and you don't have your devices, say me and my wife and I will be out and we won't have our phones, and we'll watch everybody else on their phones, and we
Mm,
feel like we're in the Matrix.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you
Yeah.
see, there's no connection. There's no, because everybody's there on their phone. So there's no real conversation. There's no, you're not taking the moment to really look into your girl's or your wife's eye. You know, you're too busy on your phone. You know,
Yeah.
so it's important to take those moments to just
Mm,
digress from those tools, because then it does help with your mental health. It helps with your health all around. Trust me. Just try it.
mm.
Absolutely.
I definitely hear you guys. You know, technologies is help to better ourselves, right? But then it seems like some parts are being left out of this human touch point, right? And
Right.
that's one thing that we have to pay attention to.
And so so let me not be remiss now. We are a technology platform,
Let's say
right?
that first.
So we're not speaking about technology. We need to
Yeah,
use technology and not let technology use us.
yeah.
Basically, that's what I'm
Absolutely.
saying, right?
Okay.
So as a technology platform ourselves, and we are trying to be an extension to the medical teams and medical arena as a whole. This is for them to be able to come in and use our platform to find equipment, vendors,
Mm,
reps, whatever it is. We're
perfect.
gonna have everything on this platform. It's a marketplace for just the medical community. That's just how I see it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you again, Alex, and thank you, Kwan, for your time. And this has been another episode of DMEconnected.tv. Don't forget to hit like and follow us in all our social media platform. My
Please,
name is
please,
Courtney
please.
Richards. All right. And this is Kwan and Alex. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, guys.
All right.
Thank you.